that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intent.
Kind of success or any kind of result, especially after that performance. Usyk's getting better and better. He just improves every time he fights, and now he's bigger and thicker set, 20 pound heavier tonight than...
In recent training footage, Usyk looks absolutely incredible like no other fighter. His training methods are so unique and unusual that they sharpen his vision to an extreme level. It's as if he can see every punch coming before it even lands. His movements are controlled, focused, and almost unreal. This rare approach to training is what makes him so hard to hit, and why no one in the ring ever finds him easy to break. Many doubted his durability, and questioned whether he could maintain dominance against younger and stronger heavyweights. Oleksandr Usyk entered the rematch with Daniel Dubois under heavy scrutiny. But instead of showing hesitation, Usyk delivered a masterclass that left critics silent. His timing, footwork, and composure were unmatched throughout the fight. Russ Somber pointed out that Usyk came into this bout with something to prove.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised because I had never seen him so intent on wanting to knock somebody out. It's the quickest knockout he scored, I think, in his professional career.
Yes,
I'd
even
have to
at
look
cruiserweight.
I'd have to look to be sure, but it's the quickest knockout he scored. He was a man on a mission.
Yeah.
He was really personally hurt and offended by the remarks made by Team Dubois, by George Fox, Don Charles' son, by Don himself. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was questioning Usyk's faith.
Yes.
Now you could question a lot. You can question his skill, question boxing, or whatever you want. Questioning his faith, bro.
Yeah.
That was something that really hit a chord, and you don't often. Tyson Fury couldn't get to
he tried
Usyk
every head
mentally,
game in
right.
the book.
But that one was the one, but it was for the wrong. It had the wrong result. It made him a very, very dangerous man, and you could see how intense he was on wanting to go out there, and even when he was throwing in early in the fight, when he was throwing counter punches, I've never seen him throw with that kind of, like Mike Tyson used to say, bad intentions.
Yeah, bad intentions, yeah.
He was throwing with bad intentions.
And the Ukrainian did exactly that. He controlled the pace, dismantled Dubois with precision, and showed the world that his skills remain elite. The performance wasn't just a win. It was a statement that Usyk remains at the top of the heavyweight division. Usyk's greatness goes beyond boxing. At the peak of his career, he made the bold decision to serve his country when war broke out in Ukraine. While others might have retreated to safety, Usyk picked up the responsibility to stand for his homeland. This sacrifice earned him immense respect back home and showed that he carries not only the pride of a champion, but also the courage of a patriot.
Usyk's involvement in the war began when he enlisted in the Ukrainian Territorial Defense Forces after the Russian invasion. His decision to fight for Ukraine has had a profound impact on the country, making him a symbol of hope and resistance. Usyk's presence on the front lines has boosted the morale of the Ukrainian military and civilian population alike. So this man kept his heavyweight championship, continued to be heavyweight champion, no losses, nothing on his record, and still went and defended his country during war. Given that, you gotta give him the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. His accolades inside the ring match it. But now that I find this out, that the man was in the front line, and they said that even after the Fury fight, he was keeping in contact with the soldiers, and he was, boosting the morale and boosting his countrymen and raising money for the war, regardless of the politics, whether the war should be going on or not and who should be killing who, it don't matter. The man went to war.
His journey from being overlooked by some British fighters and fans to now being recognized globally as a once Ina generation fighter speaks volumes. He didn't demand respect. He earned it with his fists and his heart. Carl Froch openly acknowledged steady rise in dominance. With every fight, Usyk appears more refined, physically stronger, and tactically sharper. Froch noted that Joseph Parker would not pose a real threat considering his past losses and vulnerabilities, especially when compared to the challenge Usyk presents. Froch even suggested that Usyk may want to consider retirement soon given all.
Tonight than what it was when he beat Fury, which I said earlier. He just looks like a big, solid heavyweight, big, solid, dangerous heavyweight, but I'd like to see him retire. He's 38 years old. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him, the age, and there's nothing left to do. He's made an absolute fortune, and he don't need it anymore. He's done it. He's clocked it. He's completed it. It's like he's got the cheat code, and it's like it's not fair on everybody else. So I'd like to see Usyk retire. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see him fight next. Somebody like Moses Atoma, I just don't think is going to be ready. I think if you're managing Moses, you need to take your time with him. You can't be chucking him in there. People say, yeah, chuck him in there with him, fight him, see how he goes. If he gets beat, he's lost to Usyk. But it could destroy his soul. It could take away that young, promising prospect that Atoma is. He could have a good future. And to fight somebody like Usyk now, if he got wiped out and got disheartened, it could be the end of his career. So I just think Usyk now, really, nobody can say anything to Usyk if he retires now after that win. He's done everything there is to do. Fury twice, AJ twice, now Dubois twice. There's nobody else left to beat. He's done it. Usyk should just hang the gloves up. He's been a fantastic addition to the heavyweight division since coming up from cruiserweight. He's been absolutely brilliant, and what he did tonight against Dubois was nothing short of just, it made it look easy. And I don't want to disrespect Daniel Dubois, but he just made it look easy, and he does make rounds look easy, doesn't he? Whoever is in with, whether he's in with Tyson Fury, whether he's in with AJ, he makes it look easy.
That he's achieved. He's conquered multiple divisions, defended his titles, and established himself as the best of his era. Facing someone like Moses wouldn't add anything new to his legacy. Rocha's take reflects a sentiment many share. Usyk has nothing left to prove. Joseph Parker's name continues to float around as a potential next opponent for Usyk, but few believe. It would be a true test. Most see it as a mismatch based on styles and experience. Oladipo offered an alternate idea, bringing back Derek Chisora for a second bout. His reasoning had little to do with competition and more with showmanship.
Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number one for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. So, yeah, there must be loads of conversations going on right now. Loads of conversations. I did say this the other day, and I don't know, sometimes I'm like, you know, when I was in the ring and I was interviewing Oleksandr Usyk, I was desperate because of my love for Joseph Parker. I was desperate for Joseph Parker to get, I know he got in the ring after, but I'm talking about on the zone. So whilst everyone is still in the stadium and everyone's still tuned in, I was desperate for him to kind of just jump in the ring. I was desperate for him to do it. Chisora was trying to do. So Chisora knows how to play the game. And as much as people are like, what's Chisora doing? Chisora won't get the fight, but that's kind of what you got to do. And I know people are like, well, 1 second, it's not like that. It's rankings. Well, no, it's not though, is it? Because again, Oleksandr Usyk can vacate the belt. He can say no. You have to kind of do what Daniel Dubois did last time. Daniel Dubois, rightly or wrongly, got in the ring, pissed Usyk off. Usyk's like, okay, we'll fight then. Fuck it. If this is what you're doing, dude, we'll fight. And I felt like there was a time where I wanted Joseph Parker to almost nudge me. And I'm telling you now, you know, we're kind of told not to give the mic. I don't know if you see, I always hold on to the mic. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened. And all of a sudden, you're seeing Jake Paul in the ring doing a face-off. You're seeing all these, and I'm like, where's Joseph Parker? Where are you, Joseph?
Chisora is known for making every fight feel like an event regardless of outcome. His rough style, raw energy, and promotional antics could create buzz. However, from a competitive angle, neither Parker nor Chisora seems equipped to truly trouble Usyk in his current form.
Division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list. I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against.
It's not surprising that some have started drawing comparisons between Usyk and Muhammad Ali. While their styles are different, the essence of greatness they represent feels familiar. Both possess a level of ring intelligence that goes beyond natural talent.
What did you make of his display against Daniel Dubois last Saturday? It was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was, but it was nothing less than I expected, because if you make a guy quit with a jab, Spencer, you know this, if you make a guy quit with a jab, how is that guy ever going to beat you? You understand me? I mean, that's just what the real facts are. Not that the kid hadn't got a little bit better. He got a little more confidence because he had a win over Joshua, which was good, but confidence is just not enough to beat a guy like Usyk. You got to have some technique. You got to have some grit. You can't lose to him with a jab and think you're going to beat him. It's not going to work.
Well, you was a smaller guy that went up and won the world heavyweight title, one of the only ones to do that from middleweight up to heavyweight. How does someone beat Oleksandr Usyk? Is it the smaller guy? Is it the guy that's coming up in the weight divisions, as opposed to the bigger heavyweights?
No, the bigger guys could beat him. Just got to have the right fight plan. None of these guys fighting with the right fight plan. And I'm not going to tell them the right fight plan because that's not my job to do. But you got to have the right.
They confuse opponents not just with punches, but with rhythm, misdirection, and strategy. Usyk's ability to read a fight, adapt, and dismantle his challenger reflects the same traits that made Ali a legend. The comparison is not about fame or legacy, but about their mastery of boxing as an art form. It shows how deeply Usyk's presence is being felt in this era.